the way, you'll have a tendency to want to look down at your feet. Okay? Your feet are not going to go anywhere. Just so you know. Okay, I'm going to count to 3. 1, 2, 3, I need you to freeze. Okay? Very important. Okay, so one of the things that I want you to notice, I'm going to point out a couple of things in nonverbal communication that's very important. And when reading nonverbals, you want to watch for more than one movement. Does that make sense? Because Cheryl gave me a wonderful, wonderful, powerful introduction. But if I came up on the stage after that introduction and said, hey, SpeakerCon family, I'm so excited to be here. My arms are folded. And you're thinking, ooh, you know, no, look how she's acting. We ain't going to let her treat our Cheryl like that because my arms are folded. The perception to you is being closed off, right? Because I'm closing off a power zone. So you leave the room because you saw my arms folded, but you didn't see me do this. Ooh, and then next thing you know, my assistant brings me a scarf or a jacket. Oh my gosh, she was cold, but we judged her on the first movement. We know as people of color how often it is to feel to be judged, right? So what happens when you do it? Simply from a movement. So be aware behind the movements. One of the things that I want you to notice about the feet, just look at the feet of the women up here. Okay? Make note of this. In nonverbal communication, feet don't lie. Feet are often pointed in the direction that we want to go. And how you stand in doing your presentation is very critical in your commitment and your conviction. So another thing I want you to notice is to look at the hands. Look at the hands. Her hands to the side. Look at her hands in servant mode. Her hands are to the side. So I'm going to start with this sister right here. So if you're doing a presentation, ladies, and someone attacks your presentation, attacks your data, do not put your hands like this, okay? Because here's this. She's holding on. She's holding on, restricting, holding back, but it's also a security mechanism. So one of the things that I'm going to ask you first. Now, she just did something and nobody noticed, okay? What is your first name, sis? Remedy. Okay. Remedy, what is your area of expertise that you speak on? Wound healing. Wound healing, okay? So one of the things that I know and believe, you do have experience in that area. That you have been wounded and you're going through that transition yourself and you want to take some of the strategies and share it with other people to help them. One of the things that are taking place in this, the reason why I asked her to repeat it again, she did this because she is not all the way through it. See, there's still residue that's left on her. She's not all the way, automatically she went into a protective stance. Because I am on video, I'm not going to go into any personal, but here is the deal. You and I both know you are not to let any other male spirit or anyone else ever take your power again. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not going to go into detail, but you know exactly, because now we're going to shift and we're going to change your posture. Okay, put your leg back where it was. Now look what she did with her leg. Okay, so when you're standing and doing your presentations and your leg is off-center, that's going to send a message to the audience. Okay, is she convicted about her presentation or is she unsure? Look at just the stance. So watch what happens. If you ask me in the audience, everybody do it together, say to me, Linda, can you handle the job? Everybody say that. Ask me that.
Linda, can you handle the job?
I think I can. Wow, let's try it again, and I'm going to do it without the verbal, the 7%. Ask me again.
Linda, can you handle the job?
Do you believe it? Wow. See, it doesn't matter what you say, the nonverbal will get in the way. It cancels out the verbal. Wow. So that's why I asked her what she's doing. She knows that I'm on the path. How do I know that? She's doing lip compression. Everybody do this. Now, how many times have you done that before? You were in a meeting. Someone says something stupid, and they got on your last reserve nerve, and you says, if Pookie says another word, and you try to hold it in. Okay? And so this is your season.
Yes.
To go through your healing.
Yes.
Okay? And to not give up your power. You're giving up your power in your stance. You're giving up your power. So here's, now you see what she just did. You see what she just did. You see what you just did. You see what she just did. You see what I'm talking about. Okay? You notice that each time that I've been up on the stage, I never got into my model pose. Say, stand your ground. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay? And here is the thing. One last thing I want to say to you. There are things that you need to say to people that often you bite your tongue. You hold back on it constantly, and you know you should speak that thing. Then you go home should have said this, and you're carrying all this with you rather than releasing it because you should have said it. Look at her rocking like a baby cradle. The rock, when people do that, that's another pacifying gesture because you self-soothe yourself. Ladies, I'm trying to tell you, when you see Cheryl on the stage, when you see powerful people on the stage, they come and they own the stage. Don't give up your power. Is this making sense? All right. What's your name? She said, this was saying, I didn't volunteer for this. I don't know what it was I volunteered for. I raised my hand. I thought I was getting a prize or something. I just have to come up here. But she did to this sister here. I can't do this right now. What's your name, Queen?
Danita.
Say it again.
Danita.
Okay, Danita, what I can appreciate about you, permission to touch? Permission to touch? What I appreciate about you, can you grip a little, give me a stronger grip? Okay. I appreciate about you, you're very independent, self-reliant, and sometimes you don't let everybody know what you're going through. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Okay? The reason why you don't let everybody know what you're going through, because it has to do quite often with a trust issue. Okay? Because you can't just let everyone know your business because everybody's used to you being in control. And so the things that you're dealing with, because you are a fixer, you've helped so many other people, and the things that you're dealing with, they can't see the rock of Gibraltar crack. And sometimes you have no one else to pour out of what's in you. Okay? Now, one of the things you have to be aware of, if it doesn't help you grow, let it go. Okay? If it doesn't help you grow. And one of the things that, what is your area of expertise?
Forgiveness.
If it doesn't help you grow, let it go. Now, why did I ask her that? And why did I use the quote for her, for that, Cheryl, is this. Because of her facial expressions being somewhat stoic and neutral. Okay? The facial expressions. So you may be concentrating on someone because they may not be getting validation back from you, affirmation, because you will be intently focusing on what they're saying and you often discern what people are saying a lot. You understand what I mean? Oh, you do understand, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ladies, you can breathe because I know your feet, you're ready to run. You're ready to run. I got it. Okay, your name, sis?
Ashlyn.
Ashlyn, okay? Make sure you get it right. Ashlyn. Okay. So, Ashlyn, one of the things that I want to say for you, sis, you have no problems working a project. You have no problems running it. You have a tendency sometimes, and you do the same, so you have a tendency sometimes to multitask, put a lot of stuff on your plate, because you juggle a lot of things. One of the things that I want you to consider working on is a little patience. Do you know what I'm talking about, Ashlyn?
Yes, ma'am.
Because things may not move as quickly as you want them to move. See, you want stuff to move fast. I knew that when you were sitting there and I asked for volunteers, simply from the volunteer standpoint, you were raising your hand and you were looking like, you see me? Do you see me here? I'm ready to come up here. So that what happens is, then you like things to move very quickly. But here's the thing, you may be thinking lightning fast, and your team may not be as quick as you do, as fast as you do. Because that's part of your gift. You can get, you move, and they may not be as quick as you do. So you have to, like someone greater than you and I, meet them where they're at. Does that make sense? Okay? Are you in a relationship? Okay. Do you want to be in one eventually? Okay. Let that partner be who they are. Okay? So, doesn't matter, I'm saying, if it's a man in your life, let that man be the man. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, you do. All right? All right? Just understand, okay? Now, what is your area of expertise?
Financial literacy.
So here's what I want you to do. Anytime you're talking about money and you're talking with the client, you need to be aware of doing the eyebrow flash. Okay, here's the eyebrow flash. Everybody's eyebrows go up like this. Okay? So if someone starts saying, yeah, you do it naturally. So what it does is, when you see the eyebrow flash, it's curiosity, it's intrigue, or it could be questioning, or it could be down like, okay? So be aware of the timing of the eyebrow flash, okay? Do you have a question for me? finances grown in managing your finances over the years? Yes, how have you grown in managing finances? Yes.
I have grown in being responsible with budgeting and saving with my finances. And it's probably the biggest thing.
Don't go back to default. Okay? So don't let anything emotionally trigger you to start spending. Just, okay. All right? All right. Look at her. What's going on with her? What's up, Cheryl? What's going on right here? It's, you know, one of the things that I feel, and I got 2 minutes here, one of the things that I feel grateful to be able to do here is that no matter where I go around the world, doesn't matter what a person's faith or belief is quite often when they get up on stage, somehow they find the Lord and they say, oh Lord. it's just what I do. It's what I do. Okay. Your name's
Crystal.
Crystal. One of the things for you, sweetheart, this is your year. This is your year as we move into 2023, is to learn how to say no. Because you can't please everyone. Do you understand? So you're going to go home and tell Pookie that I can't just please everyone. She already spoken and confirmed it. Okay? You can't, you've got to replenish your well before you deplete it. You understand what I'm saying? Okay? And here's another thing. You allow people who are going through stuff to dump their garbage on you.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
We'll agree with that.
Do. Now, the reason why I say that is because simply by the way she was standing, Dr. Cheryl, the way she was standing, that her body is carrying weight. So quite often, if the weight, the woman of God, if the weight, it could be someone that you're caregiving for, it could be some challenges that you're dealing with, but the weight is on you, so therefore, the posture is tilted a little bit. But see, you can't see it if you're not 100% present in their presence. So this is, if you want to have a weight loss diet, get rid of the weight. Okay, look at their little feet now. They're already to run. They're ready to run. Let's give them a big round of applause.